All right, let's get right into it. The world of AI is moving so fast it's almost dizzying, and it's kicked off a whole new kind of gold rush. But this time, the gold isn't in the ground, it's influence. So today, we're going to break down the roadmap for how you can become a trusted voice and, let's be honest, a serious earner in this absolutely booming AI space.
And if you're wondering why I'm calling it a gold rush, well, here's your answer. $1.3 trillion. That's not a typo. That's what the generative AI market is expected to be worth in the next decade. For perspective, that's up from just $40 billion in 2022. This isn't just growth, folks. It's a full-blown economic explosion, and it's creating a massive, massive opportunity for anyone who can navigate it.
So, how do you stake your claim in all this? Well, we've broken the journey down into 5 key parts. First, we'll look at the AI boom itself. Then, we'll help you figure out your identity in this new world. After that, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of creating content that AI can actually find, show you how to get paid, and wrap up with the absolute must-know rules for building a brand that actually lasts.
Okay, first things first. Let's really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this. This trillion-dollar boom is the why behind everything we're about to talk about. It's the reason companies are scrambling to build new tools and why they are more than willing to pay big money for people who can explain and recommend them. You could say, this is your call to adventure.
And that call to adventure leads you right to your first major decision. You have to choose your identity. Who are you going to be? Are you an influencer, focused on building that deep trust and expertise? Or are you going to be an affiliate marketer, totally focused on driving direct sales? They might sound kind of similar, but trust me, their approaches are worlds apart.
Now, this slide really lays it all out. On one side, you've got the B2B influencer. This person is playing the long game. Their currency, their whole value is trust. It's built on real, hands-on expertise, and they're all about educating a very specific audience. Then on the other side, you have the affiliate marketer. They're all about the results, right now. Their main goal? Turn interest into sales, usually for a commission. You can definitely be a bit of both, but you've got to know what your primary focus is. That's the key.
So once you figure out who you are, you have to decide what you're going to talk about. And you don't have to guess. Research from Michael Brito looked at thousands of posts and found there are really 7 main conversations happening in AI right now. You could jump into the great AI tool wars, pitting ChatGPT against Claude, or maybe you lead the AI education renaissance, making all this complex stuff easy to understand. Or hey, if you're a builder, you could lead a revolution just by sharing what you create. The real question is, which one of these conversations are you going to own?
So you have your identity, you have your topic, now it's time to build your product. And in this new world, your product is your content. But here's the twist. It's not enough to just post it and hope people find it. You have to build it for a whole new kind of customer, the AI itself.
This quote from SAMSP says everything. For years, we obsessed over optimizing for Google. Well, now we have to optimize for tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Copilot. These are the new research assistants for millions of people. And if they can't find and understand your content, then to your audience, you might as well be invisible. So how do you actually get discovered by an AI? Well, Sam Shelps gives us this fantastic checklist. First, forget broad keywords. You need to use specific, long-tail questions. The way a real person would actually ask something. Then structure your content as the answer. Think Q&As, think how-to guides. And please get your amazing content out of PDFs and onto actual web pages with clear metadata. At the end of the day, AI loves clarity and data, so you've got to give it what it wants. Okay, you've defined your brand, you're making awesome AI discoverable content. Now for the part everyone's been waiting for. How do you turn that influence into actual income? Well, for AI creators, the most direct path is through affiliate programs. And this slide just perfectly illustrates the opportunity. And these are just a few examples. Look at AdCreative.ai. They offer a 30% cut of the revenue for life. Or 11 Labs, a huge name in AI voice, offers up to 55% in the first year alone. Then you've got a platform like Multiplier that pays a flat fee, up to $3,000 for a single customer. The business models are just as diverse and exciting as the tools themselves. This chart kind of breaks down the main ways you'll get paid. You might earn a percentage of a subscription every single month. That's your recurring revenue. Or you could get a one-time payout for each new customer, which is called CPA, or cost per acquisition. Some amazing programs even offer lifetime commissions on a customer or have tiered payouts that go up as you refer more people. Understanding these models is going to help you pick the right partners for your goals.
We're at the final step, and honestly, it's arguably the most important one. You can have the best content on the planet and the most lucrative partnerships, but if you lose your audience's trust, you have nothing. And that means you have to play by the rules and be totally transparent about advertising.
And look, these aren't just our recommendations. This guidance is based on the official rules from regulatory bodies like the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, or CMA. Their whole job is to protect consumers, and your job is to make sure your audience knows, without a doubt, when they're looking at an ad.
Which brings us to the million-dollar question. When does a review or a recommendation or just a simple post cross that line and become an advertisement that you legally have to disclose? Well, the answer is probably a lot more often than you think.
Here's the thing you absolutely have to understand: the definition of payment. Regulators see it very, very broadly. It is not just about cash. If a company sends you a free software license, a piece of equipment, even a t-shirt, that counts as payment. Basically, any incentive you get in exchange for a mention means you have a commercial relationship, and it has to be disclosed. Period.
So how do you do it the right way? The guidance couldn't be simpler. Be direct. Be obvious. Use clear, unmissable labels like #ad or #advert right at the beginning of your post. What doesn't work? Vague stuff like #spawn, #gifted, or just saying thanks to the brand. The whole point is for someone to know it's an ad instantly without having to play detective.
And if you are ever in doubt, just run through this quick mental check. 1. Did you get paid in any form? Money, a free product, anything? 2. Does the brand have any control over what you say? 3. Did you include an affiliate link? If you answer yes to any of those, you need to label it as an ad. It's really that simple. It protects you, and more importantly, it protects that trust you've worked so hard to build with your audience.
So there you have it. We've covered the entire roadmap: the massive opportunity, finding your identity, creating the right content, making money, and playing by the rules. The conversation about AI is literally defining the next decade of our world. It is happening with or without you. The only question left is, will you just be a listener, or will you be a leader?